All right, let's dive in. We live in a world that is basically designed to pull our attention in a million different directions, right? Well, today we're going to talk about a skill that feels almost forgotten, and that's the art of being fully present. We're going to look at how to find real meaning, not by constantly chasing what's next, but by actually, truly showing up for the life that's happening right now.
So, does that question hit home at all? You know that feeling, that nagging sense that the days are just kind of blurring together? Like you're a spectator watching your own life go by instead of actually living it? If that sounds familiar, trust me, you are not alone. It's basically a side effect of our modern world.
Okay, so let's get right to the core of the problem. We are living in an age of chronic, nonstop distraction. And because of that, for so many of us, our default setting, it's just become autopilot. I mean, just think about it for a second. Our pockets are constantly humming with notifications. Our minds are flitting back and forth between things we regret from the past and all the stuff we're worried about in the future. And all that endless mental chatter, it means we start treating the present moment like it's just an obstacle, you know? Something we have to get through to get to the good part that's supposedly coming later. So, how in the world do we break that cycle? Well, the solution isn't some complicated new productivity hack you have to download. The antidote is actually way, way simpler. It's the art of presence. But what even is presence really? Well, it's about fully engaging with this moment, right here, right now, without judging it, without trying to escape it. And this is key, it is not another thing to add to your to-do list. Think of it more like subtracting. It's about removing all that mental noise so you can just show up for your own life as it's actually happening. You know, the spiritual teacher Eckhart Tolle puts this so perfectly. He basically says, the past is nothing more than a memory, and the future, that's just imagination. The only place life is actually happening, the only place you can feel true peace or joy, is right here, in this tiny little slice of time that we call now. And this comparison really spells it out, doesn't it? You've got the autopilot mind, which is just this whirlwind of ruminating, worrying, and reacting. But then you have the present mind. And that's aware, it's grounded, it's calm, and responsive. It's not just trying to survive the day, it's actually savoring it. I mean, that's the whole shift, right? From just surviving to truly living. And look, these aren't just nice sounding abstract ideas. The benefits are incredibly real and tangible. When you practice presence, you start to break that cycle of constant worry, which naturally lowers your stress and anxiety. Your relationships get deeper because, well, you're actually there with people. You're really listening. Your focus that's sharper, and you start to find this incredible sense of gratitude and fulfillment, not in some future goal, but in the life you have right in front of you. All right, so this all sounds great in theory, right? But the big question is, how do I actually do this in my crazy busy life? Well, that's exactly what this next part is all about, the how. We're going to walk through some simple, super practical techniques you can use anytime to find your way back to right now. Okay, here is an incredible tool to have in your back pocket for any time you feel your mind just spinning out of control. Think of it like an emergency brake. It's a grounding exercise that uses your five senses to pull you out of your head and back into the real world. You just pause, and you quietly notice 5 things you can see. Then, 4 things you can physically feel. Maybe it's your feet on the floor or the fabric of your shirt. Next, 3 things you can hear. Then, 2 things you can smell. And finally, 1 thing you can taste. It's this simple little sequence that acts like an instant anchor to the present moment. But maybe the simplest, most powerful tool of all? It's your own breath. I mean, think about it. It is always with you. And you can't breathe in the past, you can't breathe in the future. Breathing only happens now. That's what makes it the perfect anchor. So next time you feel overwhelmed, just try it. Stop and take 3 slow, deliberate breaths. You'd be amazed at how that can completely reset your entire state of mind. Now, this idea can totally reframe your entire day. We all have those routine tasks we just rush through on autopilot, right? Things we see as chores. But what if those chores became your practice? So instead of just downing your morning coffee, what if you actually felt the warmth of the mug in your hands? What if you really inhaled that amazing aroma? When you're washing the dishes, what if you notice the temperature of the water or the way the light catches the bubbles? Suddenly, these aren't just mundane things to get through. They become opportunities, little invitations to be present. You know how we tend to just rush from one thing to the next, to the next? We build up this momentum of distraction all day long. But you can break that spell. And you can do it with a simple micro pause. I'm talking tiny. Before you walk through a doorway, or before you pick up your phone, or right after you shut off your car engine, just stop. Take one single conscious breath. That tiny little pause can act like a reset button, letting you enter the next moment with intention instead of just tumbling into it on autopilot.
Okay, but let's be real for a minute. This is not always easy. In fact, sometimes it's really hard. Our minds are literally built to wander. So, in this last section, we're going to tackle the single biggest challenge that everybody faces, and I'm going to offer a totally different way of thinking about it. So, this is the question, isn't it? Okay, I'm trying this, but my mind just wanders off. It will not stay put. I must be doing something wrong. Sound familiar?
Okay, listen closely because this is probably the most important part of this whole thing. Your mind wandering is not a failure. In fact, that's the whole point. The real practice isn't about achieving some perfect Zen-like state where your mind never wanders. The practice is the returning. It's the moment you notice, oh, hey, I drifted off, and you gently, kindly bring your attention back. Every single time you do that, it's like a bicep curl for your brain. You're strengthening that muscle of awareness. And over time, this simple act of returning changes your entire relationship with your own mind. You start to be able to just observe your thoughts without getting totally swept away by them. You learn to see your feelings not as who you are, but more like passing weather patterns. A storm rolls in, a storm rolls out. You're not the storm, you're the sky. And instead of fighting with what's happening inside, you learn to just let it be. And in that space of acceptance, you find a ton of freedom. Because ultimately, this is what it all boils down to. We spend so much of our lives waiting for the real life to begin, don't we? I'll be happy when I get that promotion, or after we go on that vacation, or once this project is finally done. But life isn't on hold. Life isn't waiting for you. It's happening right here. It's in this very breath you're taking. It is this ordinary and yet completely miraculous moment. So the question at the end of the day isn't about perfection. It's not about adding one more thing you have to do. It's much simpler than that. It's just an invitation. Are you ready to show up?